MC131 and welcome to Starsector. This is a game that is new to my channel, but definitely not new to me, and I'm here to explain a little bit about what it is, and hopefully address some of the features of it and show it off a little bit, because it's an absolutely brilliant game. But also, this is going to be aimed at both people who are new to the game and haven't heard about it before, but also people who are a little more familiar with it. I'm not going to be doing like tutorials or anything on it, I'm just going to be doing some playthroughs, but I've decided to start to help people get acquainted with this game. I'm going to start by doing some of the missions. Now, we'll start from scratch here. Starsector, which is made by a company called Fractal Softworks, and I'm reading from their website at the moment. Starsector, formerly known as Starfarer, is an in-development, open-world, single-player, space combat, role-playing, exploration, and economic game. You take the role of a space captain seeking fortune and glory however you choose. Now, the however you choose is actually pretty accurate. There's a bunch of different ways to make money in the campaign, but I'm going to be playing some of the single missions today, because the campaign is much more in-depth. We're just going to be doing some combat-related stuff. Now, a couple of you might have been listening to those tags there and said, in development, oh what, is this early access or something? Yes. Do not be fooled by that. This game is incredibly fleshed out. For an early access or in development game, which it's on their website, which of course I'll have a link to in the description. They're constantly making like new patches and stuff. We're currently waiting for the big 0.8 update, which is going to introduce a whole lot of new things. Like the campaign's going to have a procedurally generated galaxy. There's massive overhauls to the fighter system. We've got some fighters flying in the background there. Massive overhauls to the skill system. We're going to have surveying and exploration and a bunch of new things. It's cool. But that's all stuff that the experienced Starsector players will be familiar with. Now, more to the point, what is Starsector in its own? Basically, it's a top-down science fiction shooter. There are single missions where you basically just fly around in fleet combat, and there's also a campaign mode where you fly around an entire galaxy with a bunch of systems. You can travel through hyperspace, go to different planets, you can trade, you can pick up missions, you can make friends and enemies with factions, and some of them are pretty tough, and you may have to pick very carefully which ones you make your friends or enemies. And you can also buy ships, buy weapons, upgrade your ships, and fight whoever you want. It's pretty sweet, and it is an open world game. It's pretty awesome. At the moment, the sector, as it is called, is preset, but as I said, in the 0.8 update upcoming, we're currently at 0.7.2a, which is the update, the version that we've been on for quite a while now. We're going to have procedurally generated systems outside of that, so looking forward to that. Excuse me. Right, so let's get down to business. I'm going to go to the missions here, and I'm going to try and talk you through the basics as I play through some of these missions. Now, the missions here are sort of lore-related. One of the great things about Starsector is that it's got an amazingly in-depth backstory, but no part of the game forces you to pay attention to it at all if you don't want to. So it's not like you have to do everything related to this story, but you can if you want. I'm not going to go over the lore, but I'm just going to have a quick skim through some of the pretext for the missions. But we're going to start from the top, from the easy missions. A lot of these I have completed. Some of them are easy. Some of them are most certainly not so easy. I've never completed this. You know, some of these are really quite hard. But the selection of ships and stuff, I'll try and overview, and weapons and things. So hopefully there'll be something here for new players and for experienced players. Oh man, sore throat. Really sucks. Okay, so we're going to go straight into the business here. This is the first mission, which is actually a new one that came out with the current version, called a Fistful of Credits. We had a deal. In a dusty no-good bar on a Sharu, I met the miner with the metal eye. He winked and sold me 12 containers of low-grade ferrous ore, hiding 432 CP carbines, with enough ammunition to fuel a small insurgency for an entire muggy Voltern summer season. The next step was a rendezvous with Moon High Rad Salazar. Moon flies a mule past diktat patrols, but never seems to get out of owing someone a lot of something. Reactor plating was always a bit thin, if you catch my meaning. I'm paid to ship cargo, not ask questions, but I gotta ask why's Moon saying she's not gonna pay for this job, that you might as well hand over the cargo now, because no one needs to die for a shipment of hot guns. Now, I weren't the one to broach this question of who's dying for what out here, but now that's on the table being asked, and I've got to provide her a good answer. I ping my second with the go code and flip the safeties. 50 clicks away, the scope shows Moon's engines bloom with gamma radiation as she maneuvers to an attack vector. And it sets the scene so perfectly. You're a smuggler who's got a mission to basically rendezvous with another smuggler and transfer some cargo, and this other smuggler, High-Rad Moon, has decided she's not going to pay for it. So what do? You fight. That's how life goes in the sector. That's how life goes. So we are, I love the little title here, we are just an honest trader trying to make a living, officer. So we've also got a tactical briefing, which is really handy for these missions, because quite a lot of the time they'll give you an objective, and they'll also give you tips. So in this one, for instance, we have to show High-Rad Moon what it means to break a deal. In other words, Eliminator. Don't lose the Stranger 2. You lose if your flagship dies. And Moon's ship has delicate engine mods. We're using salamander missiles to leave her adrift. So some of that might not make sense to you, but that's actually a weapon type. So this is my ship. I can go into the refit screen and have a closer look at my ship. And this is a Lasher-class combat frigate. It's a fairly low-tech, run-of-the-mill frigate. It's meant to get down and dirty up close and in people's face. So it's got a lot of short-range ballistic weaponry and some missile weapons, and it also has a system which increases the rate of weapons fire. I'm gonna try to keep this as brief as possible. It's actually quite difficult because this is a very in-depth game. Even just in the mission combat, it's quite in-depth. We've got 3 different weapon mount types. We've got ballistic, energy, and missile. None of these have energy weapons. These are all ballistic. This is a Hound-class combat freighter, which is sort of... It's not actually that great in combat because it doesn't have a shield. This has a shield. But we've got light assault guns, which do excellent damage against armor. We've got machine guns, which are better damage against shields, but they're also point defense, which means they'll shoot down incoming missiles. And we have salamander missiles, which are heat-seeking EMP. And you know what that means? Knocking out people's engines. Yeah, for lovely fun times. So we're going to go straight into the battle here. Hopefully that fills you in on how this is going to work. So we're going to go straight in and play mission. So this is what the combat screen looks like, and if I end up doing campaign stuff, you'll see this quite a lot, but this is the only screen we have for the missions. So we're going to choose our ships, deploy them into combat, and I can give ships orders. So this is my flagship with the star there, and I can control that with the WASD, QE, you know, the usual keys. Right-click to shield, left-click to fire. And this guy was on AI. The AI is really quite good in this game. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. The AI, I mean, while it's not perfect, no AI will be perfect, and it will make strange decisions sometimes. For what this game is and how complex it can be, the AI is really quite good. And I really quite like that. It makes fights quite challenging sometimes. Like, you'll run over to an objective, and the enemy has flanked you there already. You turn to run away, and they've flanked you from that side as well in the time it took you to get there, and suddenly you're trapped. You know, it makes strategic decisions. It's quite good. But yes, so we're going to go straight into the battle. So this is what combat looks like. Oh, and there are asteroids. So this is my ship. This is a Lasher-class frigate. We've got a front shield. The shield will basically generate a thing called flux when it takes damage, and my weapons, when I fire, will also generate flux. You can see that bar going up there. And if your flux reaches the maximum, I'm going to tell this guy to actually harass this ship. So here's Mule's, Moon's Mule-class combat freighter, which is a destroyer-sized vessel. Pretty tough armor, not very good shielding, and medium sort of weapons, but it's got a maneuvering jets system, which basically increases its speed and maneuverability. So I don't really want this ship, because this ship has no shields. I don't really want it to actually intercept and like go all out. I'm going to tell it to harass. So these are some of the orders you can give, which basically says it'll attack the ship while keeping at maximum range. So it'll sort of hang back and just try and take pot shots without letting itself get killed, which is a good thing to do. I'm going to try and outline a little bit more. So she also has salamander missiles, which I probably want to be careful of. I can actually lock onto that and click Z to look at my target. We've got a thumper on the front and light machine guns, so they've got this pretty much the same point defense that I have, but a much worse main gun, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so yeah, we might as well just go into the fight, and I'll try and explain to you things as they happen. So, there's a salamander of hers. Here come mine. They're quite fast. Let's see what she does about that. I'm gonna get hit. Oh, I got hit. And she got hit. Haha! Not completely flamed out, but I am. My engines are dead. Oh well. Oh, now her engines are dead as well. Mine are back online first. Take this! So, the trick here is that I'm trying to use salamander missiles to knock out our engines and get behind her shield, because she apparently has a front shield here, which I actually hadn't remembered. Oh yeah, my little hound there has a flare launcher, which is kind of mediocre if I'm honest. Alright, let's let some more salamanders away. So you will see, as ships fire, you'll see the flux meter, as well as their hull meter will go down. Their flux meter will go up as their weapons fire and as shields take damage. So flux is kind of it's sort of like an overheat meter. I've heard that it's referred to as that before. It's an overheat meter. If your flux level gets to the maximum, you will actually overload for a few seconds. And that basically leaves you completely vulnerable because you can't fire your weapons and you can't use your shield. You can still move, but you can't fire, basically. Haha! Take that again, and here comes another one. Right. So you'll see that my flux will build up as I start firing. Let's get the accelerated ammo feeder on the way. There we go. Whoop. And you can see that my flux is up quite high. If I press V, I can vent it quicker, but I'm also vulnerable while doing that. And ow! Yeah, there's the EMP damage for you. Like, all my weapons on the left side are disabled there. Right. Right, Moon, you rat bag. We're gonna take you down. As I said, this mission is an easy mission. There we go. The other salamander missile launcher is not working. Let's wait for that to pop back online, but you're about to be flamed out again. Haha! Okay, go. There goes the other one. And ammo feeder up. Fire away. And bye-bye. And we are victorious. So yeah, that's one of the easiest missions. It's a very simple thing to get you into the swing of the game, and that's why I wanted to play this one first, just to give you an overview of that. So this is the after the mission's complete screen. So we got 100% there, which is not hard to do. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go through these missions one at a time and have a go at them. Not all of these I've done so well at. Like, some of these are a little bit more difficult. This is apparently an easy one, but it's distinctly harder than that, because you get progressively larger and larger fleets, different ships which you can experiment with and have some fun. Like, some of these are ridiculous. These are phase ships. They're kind of cool. I'm rubbish at using the phase ships, though. I'm absolutely useless with them. So somehow I've managed to get 100% on this mission. I can't even remember how, but some of these are ridiculous. And like you can see these ones that I've got. You know, I've never completed these. I don't know if some of them I've even tried. Sinking the Bismarck is funny because you've got a little fleet of very high-tech ships and like some fighters against a single battleship. It's kind of sweet. And that one's actually it's not that hard. It just requires a little bit of patience. And there's also like random battles. But we'll go through those progressively. So the next one we'll do is turning the tables, and I'll probably get a little bit more in depth with the different ship types, and a little bit more in depth about the combat and the orders. But for the moment, those of you who have played Starsector and are familiar with it, I hope you have enjoyed, and those of you who have never seen Starsector before and know nothing about this game, I hope that you will seriously think about looking at this game for what it's worth, because it's actually a really good game. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $15 US. It might be $20 US, it might be going up to that soon with the 0.8 release, but it is, like, again, do not be fooled by the fact that it says early access or in development. Right? It's true, but this game is so well fleshed out for what it is already, it's incredible. Like, if they'd just released this game at the moment, I would have been happy, you know? A lot of other people are not. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, always putting out suggestions and things. There's a forum, a Starsector forum where you can post your opinions and ask questions, and the community's great. Probably because this is a single-player game, but I won't get into that too much at the moment. So, I hope that you, regardless of how experienced you are with this game, that you have enjoyed, and that you will that you'll have a look at it. And we'll come back to turning the tables next time for a little more combat. So yeah, if you liked the video, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe and stay tuned, and direct all thoughts, feedback, and questions to the comments below, and of course you'll be able to find relevant links in the description below this video. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today, so thank you very much for watching. I've been AxelMC131, and this has been Starsector. I'll see you next time.